Hello everyone, I'm Dead Knight and this is In It to Win It. We are back with Year of the Griffin Season 86 for the legend decks that got me to my earlier legend run. Before I get into it, don't forget to subscribe and make sure you get updates about new videos coming out with this channel. So I'm going to start with Wild. What hit early legend for me in Wild? It was a day 2 legend run and a top 200 when I first appeared with Pirate Warrior. Pirate Warrior has been around for a couple of years, but it's really come into its own now in this meta with a couple of key new additions for Warrior and a couple of losses of other cards for some other classes. So I'll get right into my Pirate Warrior list. So we have two new standouts that came out in Forge in the Barrens. Firstly is the Bloodsail Deckhand and its partner Outrider's Axe. So Bloodsail Deckhand is an early aggressive statted pirate that reduces the cost of your weapon by 1. The weapon that you're going to be reducing with this, of course, ideally is Ancharrr, which usually costs 3 mana, and you can curve it out with the Bloodsail Deckhand and play it for 2. And Ancharrr is going to help you draw a pirate every time you attack. The great thing about pirates is a lot of them also have attack synergies, either boosting the stats of your weapon or putting more pirates on the board. The other great thing about pirates is now that you have Outrider's Axe, that is another weapon that has 3 durability, and every time you kill a minion with it, it draws you a card. So you can control the board with Outrider's Axe while drawing cards to play minions, and it's just really difficult for opponents to recover. I mean, it totally snowballs. If you've never seen a pirate play with a snowball, it's probably hilarious, and that's what's going on here. You just draw your deck so much faster than before, and you're playing these guys out while controlling your opponent's board. The other key board control through weapons comes from an oldie but goldie, N'Zoth's First Mate. This 1/1 for 1 crappy statted pirate gives you a 1/3 rusty hook crappy statted weapon, and that is all you need to just win the game right out of the gate. A lot of decks that are running in this meta right now, like the multiple variations of Paladin that have been good. We have Aggro Druid coming back. We have Odd Rogue coming back. All of these decks just get destroyed by N'Zoth's First Mate and that 1/1 with the weapon. But he's not alone. Who is he the first mate for? He is the first mate for Patches the Pirate. So first turn, you get to play for 1 mana, you get 2 1/1s and the weapon, and usually that's enough to control the board for the rest of the game. That plus your other pirates, that's pretty much it. So the thing that's even better about pirates than the weapon synergies is free pirates. So every pirate wants to get on board with this good treasure situation, so they all come out for free. You have Patches the Pirate, which again, been around for years, one of the most abusive and best cards ever printed, free from your deck whenever you play a pirate. Now that's complemented by Parachute Brigand, which is relatively new and is a 2/2 for 2 that is free from your hand whenever you play a pirate. So you have 16 other pirates in your deck besides these 3 guys, plus whatever pirates you get from Skyraider. So you're playing pirates all the time. They're all 3 mana or less, so you can always trigger these things, so you get free pirates all the time. Oh, but there's another free pirate. It's Dread Corsair. This guy is from the classic set, and if you have weapon stats, his cost is reduced for each attack your weapon has. So Outrider's Axe, again, great for this dude because it already has 3 attack, and if you buff it with the Bloodsail Cultist, then you can play this guy for free. So you've got 5 copies in your deck of pirates that come out onto the board for free. And that plus the weapon synergies, there's almost no way for your opponents to control the board. And if you lose the board, unlike other aggro decks, because you have these weapons and these free pirates, you can take the board back, which other decks can't do. The other best way to take the board back is with the pirate cannons. So you actually get 4 pirate cannons, unlike other decks. You get ship's cannon, where every time a pirate comes into play, even if it comes in for free, it deals 2 damage to a random target. And then you also have Skybarge, which is a 2/5 for 3 mana, so highly survivable, and does the exact same thing. So if another aggro deck takes control of the board, like with a runaway crab rider, for example, or some druid buffing shenanigans, you can play one of these cannons and then 2 pirates plus a free pirate, and then blow up their entire board, swing with a weapon, and now you have 3 or 4 minions on the board, and there's no way they're coming back from that. Which is also why we're playing a card from Rastakhan's Rumble, which is one of the worst sets that was ever made, but we do have a card in there, Sharkfin Fan, which is a 2/2 for 2, so crappy sided pirate, like you'd expect from Rastakhan's Rumble, but every time you attack, you get another 1/1 pirate. So you can imagine a situation where you just lost the board, you're losing, and then you play a ship's cannon and a Sharkfin Fan and attack with a rusty hook, and then next thing you know, you've just dealt a bunch of damage and put 3 minions on the board. So you can come back from games if the first 2 turns go badly, which is not a small feat in Wild. Usually Wild is the games are over in the first 2 or 3 turns. Maybe they last longer, but you know how it's going to go. Another great thing about this deck is because it's so fast and things are coming out so quickly, you can beat control decks before they can play Reno. So that brings us to what's missing from this list. There's no tech in this list at all. So there's no Bad Luck Albatross. There's no Kobold Sticky Finger. There's nothing that is going to help you beat other decks because it's already beating other decks. Usually you can kill decks before they play Reno. If you can't kill them before they play Reno, if they're playing Reno on turn 6, your board is insane. So you can usually deal 16 to 20 damage the turn after they play Reno. So, and still have resources left. With Odd Demon Hunter, which is a deck that I did really well with this season and last season, if they play Reno, you're probably not coming back from that. You burn so much to get there that it's really hard to kill them after. But with this deck, they play Reno, you say, cool story, bro, and just keep on pounding through their face. The other thing that's missing from this is charge minions other than the Southsea Deckhand. So there's no Leroy, there's no Sky Captain Crag. Why? Well, there's no Sky Captain Crag because I don't have Sky Captain Crag, not in my collection. If I did, I'd probably find room for him in this deck because you can usually fill the board with pirates, but the deck is dealing so much damage that I haven't needed him. He's a great card. If you have him, I definitely recommend you play him. Leroy, again, solid card, but I have this guy and I just don't use him because Leroy is usually great for if you lose the board and you need one last way to finish out the game. That situation doesn't really come up with this deck. Very rarely do you get your opponent low and then you just can't finish them off and put them over the edge. Usually you either are just stomping through their face or somehow you got a really bad draw where you just didn't get any weapons and you just kind of couldn't get the resources you needed. You couldn't get Outrider's Axe, couldn't get Ancharrr, couldn't get Cutting Class, just couldn't stay in the game, and they're at 30 and you lose. That's very rare. I only lost a few games with this deck on the way to Legend. So, but either way, Leroy's not helping in that situation, and neither is Sky Captain Crag. The other omission from this deck is Sword Eater, which is a great card, giving you a 3/2 weapon and a 2/5 taunt for 4 mana. Absolute quality card. You can definitely make a case for playing this guy, but I found that Outrider's Axe is just better at the 4 slot, especially when you can reduce it to 3 with the Bloodsail Deckhand. So if you want to play Sword Eater, you can. I wouldn't recommend cutting Outrider's Axe, but because they're both at the 4 slot as the most expensive card in your deck, you could. If you cut Outrider's Axe, you might as well cut Bloodsail Deckhand for something else, like maybe a tech card or another cheap pirate, but I think this list is just fine the way it is. Like I said, I only lost a few games on the way to Legend, and I'm top 200. So this deck is high quality. It doesn't really have any bad matchups. Blew through most secret mages, unless they get super lucky. Blew through most Reno priests, unless they get super lucky. Blew through most paladins. The only thing you have to be careful with paladin is just don't walk into an early crab rider. If you have if all you have in your hand is an Azoth's first mate and nothing to back it up on the next turn, just hold off on that. And otherwise, you're going to coin out a crab rider, blow up your board, and you're going to be behind for the rest of the game. So just watch out for crab rider, play smart, maximize your Southsea captain if you can, and keep the weapons around. If you can stop that first turn or second turn crab rider, they have no chance of winning, even if they're playing hand buff paladin. So happy hunting with this. Go set sail and start your plundering and enjoy your legend run with this, just like I did. Let me know what you think of this deck. Let me know what decks have been working for you. Don't forget to subscribe and tune in next time.